Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
I am Shikha, the Key Stage 1 supervisor, and I have been associated with the RD school for over a decade now. Parents, I'm sure you all must be wondering how the Montessori approach extends into the primary school. Well, the elementary Montessori program offers an unparalleled opportunity for the ongoing development of students who have been nurtured in our pre primary program. In the primary school, our students transition from concrete to complete abstract thinking and take on the advanced curriculum. Today, through this workshop, my team and I will give you a glimpse of how the elementary Montessori method is integrated into the international Cambridge curriculum. And parents, it gives me immense pride to share with you that we are the only leading school in Delhi to complement the elementary Montessori method with Cambridge International Education in year 1 and 2. To make this session more productive and informative, I request everyone to please be on mute. I request all of you to have your cameras switched on. We will be taking up questions at the end, so you may type them in the chat box towards the end of the session. I would now request Ms. Chanda, the president of the RD schools, to share a few words before we begin.
Ma'am, you are not audible. You'll have to unmute yourself, please.
Okay.
Ma'am, you're still on mute.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, parents. A warm welcome today. It's a very funny feeling because I can't see all of you. So if one can't see the audience, one can't really connect. But what I was actually watching was extremely very, very successful virtual classes of ours. And not only virtual classes of ours, but the way certain tools or strategies of Montessori apparatus which is being used. So what I would like to mention to you is that internationally, Montessori goes up to high school. And in fact, this year, there's a university which has been made for Montessori education. Now, Montessori education means the curriculum stays the same. Now, as you know, we are getting the curriculum from Cambridge. It is an internationally standardized curriculum, and we don't change the curriculum. And that curriculum is given by every school. So every Cambridge school that you will go to will have the same curriculum. So what is it that you are getting from RD, which is a plus plus? What are you getting from RD, which is special? What are you getting from RD, which RD has enriched with innovation and creation? And that is exactly what this workshop is about, that we are using the methodology, which means instead of just using an outside pizza or cutting an apple or using worksheets, or the blackboard or the whiteboard these days. So what we are doing is we are giving you scientifically prepared Montessori apparatus to not only learn the skills, but to lay the foundation of the subject. So maths will not be learned by fingers, though mind you, it is exactly the curriculum which Cambridge is giving. Cambridge also, not only the curriculum, it gives you the concepts. They even give you the questions which the teacher needs to ask the students. So everything is a data-driven, process-driven system at RD. And the add-on here is that the tools, the teaching aids, the pathway to learning that we are using is through this scientific apparatus, which is internationally standardized apparatus. It's extremely interesting, parents. And when you watch it, and when you hear the concepts being given through this apparatus, all of you will wish that you were in grade 1 or grade 2 all over again. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of it. And as I too will be watching this. Thank you, Ms. Shikha. Over to you.
Thank you, Chanda ma'am, for beautifully encapsulating the purpose of our workshop today. I now invite Ms. Pooja Bhatia, the head of primary school, to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Ms. Shikha. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pooja. Am I audible, Ms. Shikha?
Yes, Ms. Pooja.
Perfect. So I'm a postgraduate. I'm a trained elementary Montessorian, and now I'm a member of the global community of Cambridge educators. I am delighted to share with you all that I have been a part of the RD family since the last 12 years. And today I thought that I could give you a glimpse of the primary school, since I'm sure that most of you would have many questions and would be wondering what is this to be inside a Cambridge classroom. So to touch on a few things, I wanted to let you all know that we are a part of University of Cambridge. And when I say that, I mean that the Cambridge International provides comprehensive classroom support, resources, assessments, curriculums, teacher's guide, and everything in great detail. They also offer training and profession development opportunities so that the teachers and the school leaders constantly improve their practice, and also it gives, so enrolling in these trainings also give them a chance to share their expertise with Cambridge schools worldwide. Parents, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I request everybody to be on mute? Thank you. Also, the Cambridge pathway prepares students for life, helping them to develop an informed curiosity and lasting passion for learning. You will see that the students become confident, responsible, reflective, innovative, engaged,
डांट
and
मस्ती कर रहा है नीचे अभी
able
गाड़ी
to
में
tackle
ये तो लग
demands of the world and capable of sharing a better world for future. That's why also I would say that success with Cambridge International opened doors towards leading universities in United Kingdom, US, Australia, Canada, and beyond.
चलो बाय
Inside, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but can I again request everybody to be on mute? Thank you. Also, parents, inside a Cambridge classroom, you will find that students not only build a deep understanding of the subject, but they also develop something called as higher order thinking skills. They apply what they have learned. They play a very, very active role in the classroom. They are asked to think critically. They know how to construct an argument, how to evaluate an evidence. They will learn to work independently and also collaborate with each other to bring a project to a successful outcome. And if that project is not successful, then they will learn a lesson from reflection. So these are all the attributes of our international education. Also, parents' assessments are there at every stage, starting from year 1, to recognize, reward, and to encourage learning. So what I meant to say by telling you all this is that this is not about recalling facts. And this is what Cambridge education is all about. Now, today's workshop is to show you a glimpse of our elementary Montessori, which, like Ms. Shikha mentioned, is used in our year 1, year 2. So I would like to say that the Cambridge curriculum is supplemented by elementary Montessori. Now, you'll all say, why elementary Montessori? And I would like to say, why not? Because, like you have seen in the pre primary years, that this material is something that we all feel as educators that every child should be exposed to. Like Ms. Chanda mentioned, it is scientific, it's logical, it's beautiful, it stimulates imagination. And what do we want for all children? We want to ignite a passion, we want them to fall in love with learning, we want them to understand everything around them. So this is what the material does. And now I would not like to say more, but today, my team is going to take you through an experiential journey. They will give you a glimpse of how elementary Montessori is used in different subject area. It is not possible for us to show you everything, but I hope that it inspires and motivates you, just like it inspired and motivated me 12 years back. So thank you, and please enjoy the workshop. Over to Ms. Shikha.
Thank you, Ms. Pooja. The passion in your voice is still the same, and I love that. As Montessorians, it's a matter of pride. So we also have members of our Key Stage 2 team. And I would like to invite Ms. Bindu to give an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shika. I would a very warm good afternoon to everybody here. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself briefly. I'm the Key Stage 2 supervisor, and I have worked in schools like Tagore International and St. Columbus School, Delhi. Having worked for 18 years on both the academic and pastoral sides of education, I joined the RD family in 2019. I'm an economics honors graduate and I've done my master's in English. Thank you. Over to Ms. Tusheen.
A very good afternoon to one and all present today. I would like to briefly talk about the Cambridge education that we provide at the primary school. As some of you may already know, Cambridge education prepares students for life, helping them develop an informed curiosity and lasting passion for learning. And hence, the favorite word for most of the audience happens to be the word why. And well, that is because they're taught at the root level to ask, inquire the W's of everything they see or observe around them. The very fact that this curriculum is flexible, challenging, and inspiring, culturally sensitive yet international in approach, is the reason why most of the parents want to go to schools affiliated with this curriculum. We as mentors are trained to bud confident, reflective, innovative, and engaged learners. With the Cambridge pathway, the students build more than just a deep understanding of their subject. They also develop high order thinking skills so they can apply what they've learned. They will learn to work independently and to collaborate with one another to bring a project to a successful outcome. And if it's not successful, they'll also learn lessons from reflecting on why that might be so. World study is carried forward from pre-primary to primary and even secondary, with the main vision to encourage students to develop an international outlook and become confident global citizens. Differentiation is embedded in the curriculum. We follow this to cater to every child's pace and needs. We at the primary level believe that learning should not just be limited to the textual references, and hence we rather focus on enabling our students to discover new abilities and skills that help them in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tusheen. Without any further delay, we begin with our first module, that is mathematics. But before we begin, parents, I would request all of you to please choose the side-by-side speaker view for a better visual experience. You may do so by going on the top right corner. You will see a drop down by the name of view, and if you select that drop down, you may select the side-by-side speaker view. Thank you, and I request everyone to please be on mute again. And over to Miss Aditi and Miss Shivani, who will take us through the Montessori mathematics module.
Good afternoon, parents. As Alfie suggested earlier as well, in elementary Montessori, all subjects are taught in such a structure that helps the student develop an informed curiosity and a lasting passion. Our elementary manuals, which are the North American Montessori manuals, work as a guiding point for the mentors. These manuals are internationally standardized and allow the mentors to design activities that are not only textual and content based, but will incorporate strategies which will make learning experiential, engaging, and interesting.
In Cambridge, all the topics introduced to students are divided into different teaching methods. The topic is first introduced with mentor-student interaction to test the prior knowledge of students around the same. It may be followed by audiovisual aids on the same day to give them more insight on the ongoing topic. We continue by giving hands-on experience by defined Montessori presentations which help the child to retain the knowledge for longer. Post which, many strategies are adopted to enhance learning such as mind mapping, inquiry-based instructions, reflection work, differential learning. Lastly, we follow up the topics with journal work, activity book pages, additional worksheets, and interactive home assignments to reinforce learning. Spelling Bee and SpellWeb are incorporated to language curriculum and maths drill for mathematics. In maths, students are given exposure to concrete material
and with more practice, they move to abstract work.
Through Cambridge Primary Mathematics, students are introduced to various topics such as operations, measurement, fraction, statistical cycle, among many other. These topics and their extensions are presented to students using various Montessori apparatus. For instance, this is the small bead frame which is used for operations which is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Today, we will show you a demonstration of how a student uses this material to become proficient in addition. Early Montessori years, students are introduced to addition through number rods and addition strip board. In primary, we reinitiate the topic using a familiar Montessori apparatus, which is the addition strip board, diversifying the operations with different learning objectives. Once we've recapitulated the topic with year 1 students, we introduce them to the new Montessori apparatus, which is the small bead frame. Parents, due to the current situation, the Montessori apparatus was made digitally as we wanted to continue giving hands-on experience to our students. When we look at the screen, it may just look like a frame with a few beads in each row. However, for a Montessori student, they can associate the green color beads that you see with ones hierarchy, the blue color beads with tens hierarchy, the red with hundreds, and green again with 1000. The students are introduced and made to practice adding single-digit numbers and two-digit numbers first, and then we introduce them to the three-digit addition using the same material. The students are reiterated with the concept of adding numbers under ones place first. Then we move on to the tens place and finally adding the numbers under the hundreds hierarchy. The students are kept involved throughout the process of the presentation by asking leading questions. To begin with, let's read the first. Let's read the add-ins that we have. The first add-in is 400, 110s and 5 plus 100, 210s and 3. We will begin adding the numbers by forming the first add-in, which is 400, 110s and 5 on the small bead frame. For that, we will first move the 4 beads in the hundreds hierarchy to the right, please. And we always count as we move the beads. So you all, while being on mute, can count with me as I move this beads to the right. 100, 200, 300, 400. We will now move the beads on the tens hierarchy. As we can see, the addend has 1. So we will move 1 hierarchy to the right, please. 110. Next, we see number 5 under 1. So we will move 5 beads from the ones hierarchy and count as we move them. 1,
ones, tens, hundreds.
3, 4.
Ones.
Great. Now, parents, before we start adding the second addend to the already moved first addend, we reiterate the fact that we always start adding from the ones place. So the number that we have, the second addend is 100, 2 tens and 3 ones. So we will start adding 3 to already moved 5. We will count as we move them. 1, 2, 3. The next is the tens hierarchy and the number we see is 2. Hence we will move 2 more beads and add them to the already moved 1 bead. 110, 210. We will now move on to the hundreds hierarchy and the number that we see is 1. Hence we will add 1 more bead to the right to the already moved 4 beads. 100. Great. Now let's see how many beads did we move together in all the hierarchies, right? So we will count, add under each hierarchy. For this, can I request a parent to please raise your virtual hand and help me find the sum? Is there any parent who would like to raise their virtual hand and help me find the sum? Ms. Shikha, can we invite a parent to help me with this sum, please?
Sure, if anyone would like to volunteer, please, if we could have one parent, anyone.
Okay, this is Prerna, Mahir's mother.
Thank you.
Hello, hi. Okay, so let's begin with counting, with reading the equation again.
Yeah, the ones line.
That's right. So can we read the entire equation first? So it's 400, the first addend.
Yeah, 415 plus 123.
That's right. And do you remember which place value do we add first?
Yeah, the ones, na?
The ones. So, and can you read the number under the ones hierarchy for me one more time?
5 and 3.
That's right. So let's count the total number of beads we've moved to the right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
So how many beads did we move together in one's hierarchy?
5 and 3, making it 8.
Great. Now let's count the total number of beads we've moved on in the tens hierarchy. 1 10, 2 10, 3 10.
3 10.
So the total number of beads we've moved is
3.
3.
3
Now
tens.
let's count the in the hundreds hierarchy.
100,
200,
300, 400,
500. So the sum of the two add-ins that we had, which was 400, 1 tens and 5, plus 100, 2 tens and 3 is equal to 500, 3 tens and 8.
Okay, 500, 3 10 and 8.
That's right. Thank you so much for helping me.
Thank you. Thanks.
In the physical classroom, the students are made to practice equations extensively using the small bead frame apparatus. They also make their own equations using the apparatus for the student-led sessions, which are curated to provide self-learning and peer assessment environment. Similarly, we use different Montessori apparatus in the environment while introducing students to various mathematical operations. While we just demonstrated one to you, let me take you through an audio visual to demonstrate a student-led session on multiplication using digital multiplication board, again curated specially to give hands-on experience to the students.
Which number will I put in the slot now? Which number will I put in slot? Niara, can you tell me which number? 7. Wonderful. So I'll be taking 7 slot and I'll be putting over here. Okay. And Niara, can you tell me where will I put my skittle?
You have to put your skittle on 7.
Very good. 7 into 7. So I'll put my skittle on 7 over here. And now, Riyansh, you tell me how many beads will I put in number 1?
Mom, 7.
7 beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I feel the beads.
On similar lines, fractions are introduced to students with concrete hands-on material. They are shown an apple giving hands-on experience which represents a whole. Then we cut it into half, telling them now this whole, when cut into 2 equal halves, each represents a half. Also showing them how it is written numerically. Similar ways, 4 parts to show 1/4. The students are then introduced to more fraction names and quantity using the Montessori fraction cards, Montessori fraction insets, and Montessori fraction skittles. The students continue to extend their knowledge on each topic in the following years. For instance, they are introduced to fractions and fraction names in year 1, followed by introduction to fraction operations in year 2 and 3, and so on. Once the students are introduced to fractions, they are made to do interactive journal work where they reiterate their learning by making fractions as per Montessori fraction cards. Due to pandemic, to ensure that students do not miss out on material, we demonstrated Montessori work through a virtual link. The fraction insets show a complete circle as one whole. When cut in 2 parts, it becomes a half, also writing numerically 1/2. Similarly, other fraction names are given. Here, the students are laid emphasis on writing the number 1 over the line and 1 below the line. The students are then introduced to the concept of numerator and denominator. Once the students have worked well with the fraction material and are familiar with the fraction names, They are further introduced to mathematical operations with fractions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let me take you through subtraction with common denominator using fractions. Now I would like to read the equation for you. 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 is equal to, from the frame of 4, we take 3 to make 3 by 4. Now, I am going to take away 1 by 4 from 3 by 4. So we take away 1 from which we started with, that is 3. So now let's count what the difference is. 1 and 2. 1 by 4 take away 3 by 4 take away 1 by 4 is equal to 2 by 4. We can see that all the work was done with the numerator. Whenever the subtraction is done with the same denominator, we always subtract the numerator and the denominator remains the same.
Parents in primary students extend their knowledge on the hierarchy using the geometry hierarchy material as well. We revisit the concept of hierarchy using the golden bead material, which is used extensively in their early primary years. In continuation to the concept, students are introduced to larger hierarchies using different material, where they're introduced to 10,000, 100,000, and 1 million. Please allow us to take you through the material presentation using the audio-visual aid.
This is 1 unit. This says 1 unit. This is 110. This says 10. This is 100. This says 100. This is 1,000. This says 1,000. There's a comma and 3 zeros in 1,000. This is 10,000. This says 10,000. There's a 10 with a comma and 3 zeros in 10,000. This is 100,000. This says 100,000. Notice the comma. Notice the 3 zeros after the comma. This is 1 million. This says 1 million.
Yes.
There are commas when you write 1 million.
At its heart, the elementary mathematics curriculum is about flexibility and fluency with numbers. It helps our learners to visualize pattern, develop number sense, think critically and logically, and propose solution path that others can see, discuss, and critique. It is these core cognitive skills that aid learners in many areas of their adult lives.
Parents, as you can see on the screen, we have the scheme of work that is provided to us by Cambridge International. Based on these guidelines, we formulate our curriculums. They outline the learning objectives and suggested activities. And to supplement the learning, we use the elementary Montessori method and all the presentations that were showcased today in all the subjects, which will be shown to you following on. We move on now to another new strand, that is thinking and working mathematically. Ms. Pooja will take you through that.
Thank you, Ms. Shikha. And parents, I don't want to take more time, but I would like to take this opportunity to let you all know that the Cambridge has introduced some new strands and has changed the curriculums this year, for which we are going to have another workshop, which will be in the end week of March, which has already been announced. And in that, we will take you in detail about what changes the Cambridge method of education has introduced, keeping in the demands of today's time. To give you a small example, for example, in the mathematics, They have introduced things like convincing, classifying, improving, specializing, generalizing in every unit, like in addition and subtraction. And what is it exactly is what my team and I will take you through in the March workshop. So I would request all of you to join that workshop to understand the Cambridge method in detail, just like today you are understanding what is elementary Montessori. Thank you. Back to Ms. Shikha, please.
Thank you, Ms. Pooja. Moving on, we move to our next module, that is English, which will be led by Ms. Chavi and Ms. Divya. And they will be showing you how, again, the elementary Montessori component is included in the English curriculum. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Shikha. Good afternoon, parents. Throughout the RD classroom, learners explore specially designed Montessori material that are multisensory, hands-on, concrete, and self-correcting. There is dynamic interaction among the various curriculum areas of the Montessori classroom. The specific skills of each area build upon each other and are interrelated to and dependent on skills learned in other areas of classroom. The connection enhances learners' natural interest in and enthusiasm for learning.
Language pervades the Montessori classroom and crosses all curriculum areas. Primary students expand their ability to communicate by increased auditory discrimination, developing an enormous vocabulary, critical thinking, and fluency. The four essential components under language include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. At the RD school, Montessori presentations are introduced to supplement the Cambridge Key Stage curriculum. The students use their basic knowledge that they have gained in the prior years and add complexities to them, delving more deeply across all areas of curriculum. At the RD school, the English lessons are conducted through the use of Promethean board, journal work, and Montessori presentations. Today, we will be showing you glimpses of few presentations from our language arts curriculum. We will begin with the Montessori presentation on capitalization. Over here, I would ask any one parent to just tell me why do we introduce capitalization to our Key Stage 1 learners. Any parent who would like to answer can use their virtual raise hand. And Ms. Shikha can just let me know.
Parents, anyone can volunteer, please. You may unmute yourself.
Ma'am, so that when they know that there is a sentence which is starting and they have to start. Start with the capital letter.
So that's right. So capitalization basically helps the students to learn, remember, and apply how to properly use capital letters in their writing. And if anyone could tell me how many rules do you think come with capitalization? Is it 1, 2, or how many do you think it would be having? Any parent?
I think 3 rules.
All right.
Like a start of a sentence, after a full stop, and any proper noun.
All right. So you would be...
Ma'am, I think there are 8 rules.
So you would be amazed to know that there are around 7 rules that come with capitalization, and each rule under the Montessori environment is done in detail. Today, I will be showing you one such rule, which is capitalizing names. And for that, I would be demonstrating the presentation. And before we do this rule with the students in the class, they're already made aware of what capital letters or uppercase letters look like. So just let me know if you all are able to see this white sheet on my screen.
Yes, Chavi.
All right. So today we will be practicing writing the name Max. So I will just show you how we write the name Max. So as you see on the slip here, the first letter in the name Max is a capital letter, while the remaining letters have been written in lowercase letters. So that's how we encourage students that all names begin with a capital letter or an uppercase letter. The students are able to relate to this more throughout their reading. Whenever they come across any name in their stories, they're able to identify why the first letter of that name is capitalized. I would like to show you on the screen what are the remaining rules of capitalization. So these are the remaining rules that the students are taught under capitalization, and every rule is done in same details, and all these rules have a follow-up activity with them. So, this is some journal work of this year's year 1 student on capitalization. Moving ahead to another interesting concept under language arts curriculum is the word study. So under word study, the students are introduced to concepts like compound words, prefixes and suffixes, synonyms and antonyms, homophones, homonyms, and homographs, to name a few. Today, I will be showing you one such presentation on how compound words are taught to the students in a classroom. But before that, I would like to again ask you parents, what do you think we mean by the term word? W-O-R-D, what does it mean to us? If any one of you knows the answer, you could use the virtual raise hand. Mishika, any one parent?
We don't have any hands, but if anyone would like to just answer, please go ahead and unmute, parents.
Could you repeat the word once? Which
I
word?
think it's something which contains a meaning, like something which has a meaning to it is called a word.
Absolutely right. So when we join letters, it forms a word, and every word has a meaning when it is spoken or when it is written. So that is what words are. And today we will be seeing how we make compound words by joining two words together. So I would like one parent to volunteer doing this presentation with me.
Parents, you're getting to experience what your children will be learning, so please volunteer.
Anybody who would like to do this presentation with me?
Okay, I'll volunteer again.
Thank you so much. Just let me know if you're able to again see the white sheet.
Yes.
Thank you. So what do you see in my hand here? What is this?
Looks like a capsule, a tablet.
Another word for that you can give me?
A capsule, a tablet, a medicine.
Okay, so, yes, yes. So this is a pill. And can you also tell me what letters join together to form the word pill?
P-I-L-L.
That's correct. So can you just read this slip for me?
P-I-L-L.
Pill.
P-E-L-L.
That's perfect. So pill is made by joining letters P-I-L-L, and pill is a word. I would also like to ask you, what is this in my hand here?
Looks like a box.
That's right. So this is a box. Again, can you tell me what letters form the word box?
B-O-X.
That's right. So again, can you read the slip?
B-O-X.
B-O-X, it makes the word box. So here I see pill is a word and box is also a word. So this is my first word and this is my second word. Now we will see what happens when we join these two words together. So I'm joining pill and box together and it makes a new word. Can you read the word together?
Pillbox.
Pillbox. So when two root words are joined together, they form a compound word which has a new meaning altogether. And over here, the words pill and box joined together make a pill box. So do you actually see the students are experiencing every compound word in the classroom? So if I can just ask you, would you ever forget this way of learning compound words?
No.
So that's what happens in the RD classroom. So as you can see on your screen, this is this year's year 2 students' work on compound words, and she has made all the possible combinations she could. For example, if I take the root word ball, with ball she has formed compound words like snowball, basketball, to name a few. And similarly, she's done with root words sun, grand, drop, to name some. Moving on to this slide. So we have some follow-up activities from our this year's year 2 students again on prefixes and suffixes. So parents, I would just like to tell you that the students truly receive experiential learning throughout the RD classroom. And this is because this is the reason why they're able to grasp the concepts more quickly and are able to retain more information. All the activities that we do in the classroom are done in groups, and thereby we promote a lot of collaborative learning under Cambridge curriculum. Hope you enjoyed doing these presentations with me. Now, Ms. Divya is going to take us through some grammar activities under the language arts curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shavi. So can I please request any one parent to volunteer for me to start? Any one parent?
Ma'am, I can do it.
All right. Okay. So now can you guess which box is this?
Box.
It's in English. Which box is the language? The
A shape box, ma'am, like you've just assorted shapes. So
okay, parents, this is the grammar box. And in the grammar box, there are a lot of
As
symbols.
nouns and verbs and
Yes. So I'm going to ask you. So can you tell me which symbol is this?
it's a noun.
Yes, that's correct. And can you tell me which symbol is this?
No, I don't.
Anybody wants to guess which symbol is this?
Adjective.
Yes. And can you tell me which symbol is this?
Maybe for proper noun.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. That's correct. So these are grammar symbols which are introduced through different presentation. And I just want to let you know that each symbol has a scientific meaning, which is shown to the students in a presentation. This is what they never forget. So today I'm going to tell you the meaning of any one of it. That is the verb. So the sun that gives life to all the things and a ball that naturally moves around. Verbs are words that give life and movement to noun. The reason why verbs are red, because this is what happens to coal. When it sets on fire, this is how it is in students' mind, and they associate with the parts of speech. Now, parents, I'm going to do a preposition presentation. For that, can I request any one parent to volunteer?
yeah,
Raise your hand. All right, great. So for that, I'll be needing a basket, and you can see my basket, and I'll be needing a ball. So now, can you tell me the position of the ball? The ball is inside the basket. Now, can you tell me the position of the ball?
It's outside the basket.
Also, you can say that it's beside the basket. That's correct.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me the position of the ball?
In front of the basket?
Yes, you're correct. It's in front of the basket. So parents, you can see on the screen, this is the symbol for preposition, the green crescent. In English grammar, after learning about nouns, verbs, adjectives, the learners are introduced to preposition. Parents, yet again, did you see the concept was shown in a very concrete manner? And the child could see the different positional word which are called preposition. As you can see on your screen, these are some follow-up activities like the journal work that we do and the Promethean activities that we do as a follow-up for a better understanding. Moving on to punctuation, I would again request any one parent to volunteer, and you can raise your hand and we can call out your name. Anyone?
Sumaira's mama's hand.
Sumaira's mama, all right. Okay. Yeah. So before I start, can you tell me how did you learn punctuation in your school?
Punctuation, I like full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, comma. It's just, I don't remember how I learned.
That's correct.
That's correct. I think we just mugged it up and figured it out that when the sentence ends, then full stop.
Yes, you're correct. So this is a sentence, you stop. This is the question mark, you put a question mark, right? Yeah, but an elementary Montessori child doesn't learn it that way. Punctuation is used for capital letters, period mark, comma, question marks, to name a few. Today, I'm going to do a presentation of punctuation box. So I hope you can see. You will meet. there are 7 continents. This is a phrase. This is a sentence. A group of words that form a complete thought is called a phrase. A group of words that do not form a complete thought is called a phrase, and a group of words that form a complete thought is called a sentence. And we always place the period mark at the end of the sentence. So parents, in similar fashion, all the other punctuation like question mark, exclamation mark are introduced to the child. As you can see on the screen, these are some of the follow-up activities in journal that we have done for punctuation mark. There are many more aspects of language. For example, there is vocabulary, listening activity, reading books, and many more. It is not possible for us to take you through everything now. We just want to give a glimpse of few things. Once they move to Key Stage 2, they'll be doing narrative writing, participating in debates, play scripts, and letter writing, to name a few. Thank you, parents. Over to you, Ms. Shikha.
So parents, as you can see, we have a very unique RD reading program. And this program aims to develop our students into confident readers and writers. And this begins at the primary school. Next slide, please. So again, parents, I would like to draw your attention to an example of our scheme of work for English. So there is an example of rhyming poems that are introduced to the children. So what I would like you to notice here is that English is not only about reading and writing, but the Cambridge International really lays emphasis on the speaking and the listening skills as well. So students are asked to do an activity, and the mentors will ask questions to them like this: did the speaker make eye contact? Did they speak clearly? Could the other person hear them? So it is not only about reading and writing, but a very wholesome curriculum wherein all aspects are given equal importance. Moving on, we move to the humanities curriculum, and I request now Ms. Jasmine to take us through the same. Thank you.
Good afternoon, parents. The Elementary Montessori Humanities curriculum is an amalgamation of topics such as botany, zoology, physical geography, culture geography, history, and peace education under the subject. Humanities is the study of place and how humans have adapted to all of Earth's environments. Physical geography looks at the outward appearance of the environment. Culture geography looks at what Dr. Maria Montessori called humankind's ability to continue the work of creation. Through meeting the basic human needs for food, shelter, and clothing, groups of people develop language, tools, transportation, rituals and celebrations, religion, music, art, and crafts. By celebrating other traditions with food, music, and stories, students can begin to see the uniqueness of other cultures, yet come to understand how much we all have in common. The Montessori history curriculum includes various topics. To understand history, the students must understand some facts about time, a concept that helps students understand the period during which an event happens. Montessori activities are designed to introduce the concept of time. Students represent time graphically, that is, by making marks on paper. They create timelines which are graphic representation of time and events. Timelines show events in a chronological order, which is the order in which they occur. Timelines help students appreciate history and understand that millions of years can be represented in a short space. As students progress to year 3, they learn the concept of timeline in different ways, such as the timeline of communication, which represents the evolution of modes of communication over different periods of time. They also begin to learn about ancient history, and civilizations such as the Aztec civilization, the Greek civilization, the Mayan civilization, to name a few. Learning about ancient civilizations helps students have a better understanding of the world, and understanding this progression improves their knowledge of the people who live in it. Under cultural geography, once students have worked with globes, they are introduced to maps. Mapping activities are designed to show how a real place, such as a farm or their school, can be represented by first making a model and then by replicating the same on a flat surface. They are also made familiar with the elements of a map, such as the title, the key, the compass rose, and cardinal directions. Students also participate in collaborative learning activities such as peer assessment and brainstorming activities, which help them learn from each other and also develop higher order thinking skills while boosting their self-esteem and confidence. During the early years foundation stage, students are introduced to the model of a farm, and during the elementary years, students learn how to replicate the same model into a map of the farm. Similarly, students are encouraged to draw a map of their school, their house, their nearby park independently using their observation and understanding of mapping skills. Now, parents, we will be watching a video of a year 1 student who is seen applying her practical knowledge of cardinal directions learned during the virtual lessons.
Hi everyone, I'm in the center of my room and this is the north direction of my room. This is the window and it's in the northeast direction of my room. That's the study table that I study on. That's my southeast direction. And that's where my cupboard is. It's southwest direction. Thank you.
Coming to physical geography, so physical geography discusses the formation of the universe, the creation of the earth, and all of its physical properties. The physical geography lessons are a series of imaginative and impressionistic lessons which serve to spur the imagination and creativity of our young learners, encouraging them to explore the vast world around them. As an application of their learning, students created a postcard for their virtual humanities exposition highlighting the significant features of Asian countries. They made discoveries about people living in different countries, their local cuisine, their music, clothing, traditions, holidays, customs, housing, as well as the plants and animals. Through this virtual exposition, they learned to appreciate the wonder found in the similarities and differences around the world. So parents, the humanities curriculum presents a historical, evolutionary, and integrated vision of knowledge and human development. It includes fundamental lessons from which specific studies of different areas will develop. These lessons are designed to awaken imagination, curiosity, and admiration for the creative and innovative capacity of the human spirit. Thank you.
Parents, on your screen, you can see this is a truly unique place at the school. It's called our Makers Lab. And this is where students get inspired to inquire, ideate, and create. Students have used this facility in the past for various activities. And I remember there was one activity where they were actually engraving on coins while they were learning about early coins and currency in the humanities lessons. So moving on without any further delay, we move on to the science module now, which will be led by Ms. Radhika and Ms. Shweta.
Thank you, Ms. Shikha. I'm Ms. Radhika. I'm a primary mentor, and I will be telling you about the Science Cambridge curriculum. Science is the study of the nature, behavior of natural things, and the knowledge we obtain about them. In RD Elementary classroom, the science lessons are conducted through use of Promethean board, journal work, and Montessori presentation. The students lead their own independent scientific inquiry by conducting hands-on experiment, thereby exploring and arriving at their own conclusions, and by recording their observation. Hence, students explore cause and effect relationship.
Top of the bottle. See, like this.
Students were delighted to see the progress of the flower changing its color. And I remember year one student shared her observation that it is the stem that's carrying the colored water to different parts of the plant. And that's why after a few days, we can notice the change in the petals color. All these experiments conducted in the classroom are part of the elementary Montessori. Throughout, students actively apply what they learn. They work with classification cards, they conduct experiments, they observe demonstration, answer questions, and summarize their observation. A glass is not merely a glass, but a transparent object, or even distinguished further, a man-made material. Nor is a sound just a sound, but a vibration that makes a sound wave. I would like to give you a glimpse of the force unit from a Science Cambridge curriculum. The initial step of scientific thinking is to make an observation. The mentor is conducting resting and moving experiment to demonstrate how force is applied on an object.
Resting, it is not moving. When it is not moving, it is at rest. Now, Ayan, how are you going to apply force to move it? Are you going to push it? Resting, it is not.
Hence, the student was able to understand the type of force applied to an object, that is push or pull. After nurturing curiosity, students investigate by conducting the same experiment and recording their observation in their journal. As you can see, the students have recorded the different ways of moving a ball with force. Students also identify and classify objects from the environment under push and pull. They are more likely to remember a learning experience when they involve their senses. A tug of war is a perfect example of force, where students can feel, push, and pull. With the help of Cambridge books and engaging activities, we are giving them a chance to make their own discoveries. A Venn diagram is a teaching tool that motivates critical thinking. And as you can see, the student is able to classify push and pull independently in the Venn diagram. Ms. Shweta will be conducting an experiment related to force topic, which is part of the elementary Montessori.
Good afternoon, parents. I will be demonstrating an experiment related to force concept. The name of experiment is Tornado in a Bottle. To begin with, I have a bottle in my hand and I have filled the bottle with some water. Now I will add a small amount of dish soap. You may also want to add some glitter or food coloring if desired. I'm going to add a drop of food color. Now I will seal the bottle tightly. Next, I start moving the bottle in a circular motion rapidly. After a few seconds, I can see that the water is swirling. I remember last year when we did this experiment in class, a student observed that the water is spinning rapidly and it is making a mini tornado. The twister created is due to the water spinning towards the center of the bottle or vortex. So this is how students understood that the water is spinning rapidly due to the inward force. Let me shake it again. And the mini tornado can be seen again. We all can watch the mini tornado. So this is how students observe the experiment and note down the observations in their journals. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Shweta, and thank you, Ms. Radhika, for taking us through the science curriculum. I would just like to quickly bring about again the fact that how in Cambridge our learners are made to think about the how, the why, and the what of each and every concept that they learn. So this is an example of a unit on materials where children are observing their toys and the mentor would ask leading questions like which materials are used for a toy, which materials are never used for a toy, why do you think this is, what properties do the baby toys need to have. So parents, this is how we lead them into questioning and they finally come to arrive at their own answers. I would also like to show you the science lab. So this is our science lab at the school and it has state-of-the-art material and students come and do their hands-on experiments here, thereby getting an experiential experience of every concept. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shweta. So parents, we have come to the end of this session. If anybody has any questions, you may please write them in the chat box. Due to a little shortage on time, we will be able to take about 3 questions. If you still have any further questions, you may feel free to email us. Parents, you may unmute in case anybody
Ma'am, actually, I think I'm not been able to write in the comment box, but I do have a question. So this is the Cambridge board. So I am actually worried if my child wants to get into apply for the Delhi universities. So is the weightage given more to the CBSE school than a Cambridge board, or how is it?
I'm going to answer your question. I cannot answer it in detail today. I will get back to you. But just to answer it, the weightage is the same. There is no weightage which is specially given to the CBSE students, and it's equal weightage given to all boards.
So like the time a CBSE school child applies to Delhi University, it is the same time that the Cambridge board child will also apply, or the results are out a little later, or how is it?
I think there is a month difference, but I would suggest that we will give you all the details on an email.
Yeah,
and
sure.
not on this forum. We would like to answer it in detail, but it does not affect admissions at any point. The international curriculum is July to July, but we'll answer. We'll take down your email and we'll answer all your questions.
Thank you so much.
We have a question about Hindi language.
Can I answer that?
Sure, Ms. Pooja.
So about Hindi language, Hindi is an academic subject and it is taught by a separate Hindi subject mentor. It is not taught by the class mentor. And for Hindi as well, we have elementary Montessori material. The way you saw English, we do have LMA box for Hindi. We have other things. We have a textbook, we have a workbook and journal, and Hindi is done in detail with assessments, etc. But it was not fair to take you through Hindi completely. But to answer your question, we have a Cambridge curriculum as well as it's supplemented by elementary Montessori. So Hindi is treated as a main subject in year 1 to 5.
Ms. Pooja, we have another question. Pavit's Mamas wants to know how we would evaluate a child if he has grasped the concept or not.
Yes, so this is one of my favorite questions. And I would just like to let you know that in Cambridge education, we have something called as assessments. And we have something called as FAs and FAs. So FA stands for formative assessments, and it is something that happens, it's ongoing. So it happens in the middle of every unit in a month. So it could be in sort of a role play, it could be a quiz, it could be any verbal thing, etc. And a lot of activities are designed for FA. It is done every month. So the teacher exactly knows if a student has understood, has not understood, and how to make the concept clear. We also have something called as essay, which is conducted twice a year, which are assessments, and they are written assessments. So the grades and everything is shared with you. Even in our essays, the answer sheets are shared with you. So to answer your question, the grasping of concepts is monitored through assessments, which is again provided by Cambridge.
There is another question that says, how will we, sorry, 1 second, I'll just scroll up. So if we continue online classes, how will the children experience the Montessori materials?
Parents, I would like to tell you that all the material that we have shown you virtually today is available in our campus, and obviously in campus is done through the material, but everything that we showed you today is what we have done from the last year. So what I mean to say is that we were able to develop every material virtually, and we were able to give it to the students to experience it. So it was done very smoothly. So we have adapted our elementary Montessori into our virtual classrooms and have experimented for a year, and it worked very well. Though we are very hopeful that in the new academic year, the schools will open and you and all your students will get a chance to work with it in campus. Yes, Ms. Shikha.
We'll take up the last question now. It says, what is the system of grading and exams?
Right, parents, again, same. So all this information is provided to you in detail in the primary orientation as well as in the parent guide, just as you join the primary school. But to answer your question, the grading is on the basis of assessments which are conducted. And like I mentioned, there are FAs which are done in ongoing unit. So that's done probably every month of unit. And if there is a difficult unit which is going on, it might be done twice in a month. And essays are something which are formally conducted. So you are given like a date sheet, you are given like the proper syllabus, and it happens twice a year. And again, the grading is based on it. And also, unlike the pre-primary school, in the primary school, you get 2 detailed report cards. So you will get 2 detailed grades plus comments plus specialist comments. So usually you receive your report cards in the month of December and May. So you exactly know how the students have been doing. So all that is done properly and in documentation. Ms. Shikha, I'm sorry we are running out of time, but I would like to take all these questions. So if in the chat box, I could give my email ID, and I request all the parents to write to me. If you have 1 question, if you have 2 questions, if you have 10 questions, I would love to answer all of you personally. So I will put in my email ID, and you all can write to me anytime, and I'll reply to you within 24 hours. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shikha.
Thank you, everyone. And we hope that we were able to give you an insight into the elementary Montessori curriculum through the workshop today. We thank you for joining us and taking out the time to be here. Thank you all and have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. This is quite informative. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It was great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the information.
Bye.
Thank you.
Sanpreet, ma'am.
Mama.
Yes, please.
I want to say you something.
Oh.
Ma'am, the meeting is expected to end in another 1 minute. So may I request, in case if parents want to connect with me, they can call on the school number. Mr. Devendra, can we look at the meeting time schedule? Thank you, Shanaya's mom. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.